Oh man, a message to my younger self. Hello, beautiful. You are beautiful. A lot of people are going to make you feel like you aren't, but you are. You're special. But I think you already know that. And what makes you special and unique is why people will try to make you feel like you're less than. You keep being fucking great. Man, don't worry about these dumb boys. Get your fill when you need to get your fill. But 99% of them are not worth it. And you will find your 1%. It's going to take a while though. It's all about divine alignment. It's all about perfect timing. I know you want what you want right now, but what's for you is going to take time. You have to evolve and grow. You have to be prepared, as well as everybody that needs to be prepared for it all to come to pass. So be okay. They're not delays, they're just alignment. Don't put that ring on that Miles gave you. You don't have to get that bitch cut off. Save your money, sis. Learn about investing. I know when they started talking stocks and bonds in high school, you immediately shut down and stopped listening. Pay attention to that. People are going to tell you that you think too much. Don't listen to them. They don't think enough. All that thinking you do is what makes you special. All that thinking you do is going to help other people start thinking. I know you grew up never wanting a family, but you're going to have one. It's going to be huge. 90. And you're going to have to support your husband through some really difficult times. And you're built for that. Try to come into your feminine energy a lot sooner than you have. All of the trials and tribulations that you've gone through in life are necessary. I know it doesn't feel that way and you are just like, why me, God? Trust me, you're going to find out why. Every test is a testimony, like for real. You literally tell your testimony to help others. And in helping them, you're helping yourself. So don't just go through it and think, woe is me. Go through it and say, what's the lesson? What am I learning here? Because when you learn that lesson, you can then help others learn the lesson. That calling that you have on your heart that you've had since day one, it's real. And all those expressions that you had, the books you've written, the TV shows, all those things that you've done are for purpose. They're helping somebody. Even if it's just one person, you change one person's perspective and help them change their lives. Life, singular. You're going to become an amazing artist. Like stuff that's never been done before. You are the pioneer. You're a pioneer of a lot of things. So just keep going. I know there's going to be a couple times you're going to think about ending it, but don't. Keep pushing. Maintain your mental space. Because how you view all the stuff you're going to go through is how successful you get to where you're going. But the journey's necessary. Let's talk COVID and quarantine. What's good, y'all? Lonnie Appleton. If you got a couple of minutes, I have a couple of messages. First, let me say my husband's on the bike, so if you hear some random mumble rap lyric or some random yelling, it's just him on the bike. I just watched a video from a young lady who was expressing how quarantine was difficult for her because most of her relationships were founded, scratch my eye, oops. Most of her relationships were in-person relationships, so when COVID hit, she was kind of like, what now? And she struggled through that, and I know a vast majority of people around the world, because COVID was worldwide, struggled from it. But me, you hear the random mumbled rap lyrics? He's getting into it. Me being antisocial and really loving being in my house, specifically in my room, in my bed, I was okay with COVID. Nothing changed for me. Actually, it was a blessing for me because COVID was an opportunity for people who generally got their socialization from the outside world and having to go physically out. They had to figure out how to get their, I had to pause the TV, but they had to figure out how to get their entertainment from, this is my life. And I've learned to accept him for who he is. We are totally two different people. But he's willing to shift and change for me, and I'm willing to shift and change for him. And we accept each other for who we are. Anyway, we had to go outside, and now we have to find inside. And because most of my relationship or most of my successful interactions are online, I was able to meet and engage with people who typically wouldn't engage online, but now they have to. So if we could look at the perspective of the growth for the introverts and the people who were isolated and stuck in the house because that's where they felt more comfortable. So if we switch the perspective from, man, I was stuck in the house and I didn't have anything to do, and we should think about the other people and on the other side, thank God that those people had an opportunity to now develop relationships. And let's celebrate that. I know it's all about perspective, and I'm not taking away from your experience or anyone's experiences of isolation, but how we think about things. I had this conversation with my friend. I was like, I don't understand clinical depression, but I understand situational depression because I've been situationally depressed. And if you just are able to shift your perspective and change the narrative in your head, we could see the good that came from quarantine. I became less isolated, and I became a friend to people who I wouldn't have necessarily been a friend to otherwise.
My sneezes aren't contingent on your bless yous. But your bless yous are contingent on my sneezes.
Yeah, and I don't want to be rude and be like, not blessing you. You might need that blessing.
That might be the one fatal sneeze. It's the motherfucking sneeze that takes me out.
You need that blessing. And I didn't give it to you.
Could you imagine if I died after a sneeze and you'd be like, fuck?
I did not bless her.
That's the one I didn't say bless you on.
Yeah, that's bad.
Can you imagine the guilt you live with after that one?
I don't know how I will live with myself.
Damn, you took me out because you didn't say bless you.
That's right.
It was the 11th sneeze. The 11th sneeze took her out. That's what it's going to say on my headstone. The 11th sneeze took her out, and Dre didn't tell her bless you.
That's kind of tragic.